It's Pam and class is in session. This video is for everybody and anybody that want to take content creation seriously and want to be an influencer or content creator, whatever you want to call it. This is how you are going to build your brand and establish yourself within 6 months or less to start getting noticed by brands, getting PR packages, getting invited to events, and to monetize all your platforms. I've been in the influencer space since 2021, so I feel like I've learned quite a bit of things about the industry, how it works, how to deal with brands, how to work with them, and just the people in it in general. I also was able to double my following within 3 months, which was part understanding the algorithm and my insights and part going viral. So there's really a lot that goes into play into building your following, and it also involves a lot of luck. So for this video, we are going to talk about the basics. I'm going to talk about how to get started, building your content pillars, different types of content, content tools, and how to get noticed by brands. There is a lot to discuss, so monetization, working with brands, and getting invited to events will be a separate video, so be sure to like and subscribe to not miss that one. If you also have any questions, you can comment down below or DM me on Instagram and I will get back to you. Part 1. Getting started. So you want to be a content creator, but you don't know how to start. The first thing you got to do is ask yourself why. Why do you want to be a content creator? Do you want to share your life? Do you want free stuff? Do you want to inspire? Do you want to educate? Do you want a creative outlet? And all of these answers are valid. Whatever it is that you want to get out of this, you have to be clear on that with yourself because it will drive your consistency and your commitment and also your content. The next thing that you would want to do is to pick a platform. Is it Instagram? Is it TikTok? Is it YouTube? I know everybody says not to put all your eggs in one basket and you need to be everywhere, but honestly, I feel like picking one and being really good at it is better than trying to be everywhere all at once. I started with Instagram, so I kind of had an idea of how the platform works, the posting times, how people engage there, what they want to see. And once I got that, that's when I started to build on my TikTok. And these two platforms are very different. A lot of people just tell you to just repost and repurpose your TikToks to Instagram or vice versa. But if you really want to build your brand, you need to have a different strategy for both. So keep in mind that Instagram is more aesthetic, it's more aspirational, it's more creative. There's kind of a bit of an older audience there, as opposed to TikTok, which is more relatable, funny. People just want to see you do random things. And TikTok is more of a Gen Z platform, so they're into storytelling, relatability, and a whole lot of personality. So pick one platform that you really want to commit to and then go from there. When you're ready to move on, the next thing to do is to pick your niche. I know people say you can be the niche, but when you're starting out and people don't know anything about you, it's hard to become the niche unless you want to be personality focused. So what do you want to do and what kind of content do you want to create? Do you want to be in fashion, lifestyle, wellness, education, fitness, home, food? There's so many things. And the best way to grow is to pick one or two of these and stick with it until you've built your community. The key is you want to be remembered for something, and people aren't going to follow you if they don't know what they're following you for. They aren't going to watch your videos if they don't know what they can expect from you, if they don't know what value you provide them with, because they don't know you. When you're just starting out and trying to build an audience, you have to remember that you aren't only creating content for yourself, but for other people as well, and things that brands would want to repost. So you have to ask yourself, what's in it for them? So when you're picking a niche, think of something that you love doing, something you're passionate about, something unique that you can bring to the table. And it has to be something that you can actually create a lot of different content with. So when I started in 2021, I picked fashion because that was what was the most feasible for me and what I thought I could be the most consistent with. And then once my audience started growing, that's when I started to add creator tips, lifestyle things to do, because they already knew who I was. So you have your why, you have your platform, you have your niche. The next step is your content pillars. So what exactly are content pillars and why do you need them? So these are 3 to 5 topics that you can talk about regularly in your content. Think of it as a way to categorize your content and give your page a clear message. Because remember, if you want to take this seriously, you have to see yourself as a brand and your page as a business. Content pillars are also a way for you to maintain consistency. You can always go back to it when you're stuck, when you don't know what to create, or when you're thinking of content ideas. So for example, your niche is fashion. 4 content pillars could be style inspo, fashion trends, thrifting, and shopping guides. If your niche is lifestyle, your content pillars can be home decor, personal growth, self-care and wellness, or food recipes. So when you're thinking of topics that you want to talk about consistently in your page, Think of something that you can talk about for days and something that you're passionate about, and actually try to think of 50 content ideas for each one. I'm not saying you can't make any content that's beyond your content pillars, but these are just there to guide you and also your audience, because again, when you're growing, you want them to get to know you, you want them to know your content, and that's how they stick around. Now you're ready to start making content. And if all that wasn't an information overload, I'm about to tell you 5 types of content that are most common in social media. So, content can be educational, entertaining, relatable, inspirational, or a trend. To better understand this, let's take the content pillar of self care and wellness. Educational content can be 5 things I did to improve my health, how to glow up in 2024, my best self care tips, anything where you are teaching something to the audience. An entertaining type of content can be come with me to the spa, let's go try this Hailey Bieber smoothie, or my friend narrates my skincare routine for me. This is where a lot of creators incorporate a little or a lot of personality because they're fun videos. People love to watch them. That's why it's entertaining. A relatable type of content can be POV. You always prioritize self care, and then you do it as a text overlay with a montage of clips. It can also be a story or an experience. It just has to be something that people can relate to emotionally. And then we have the inspirational or aspirational pieces of content. When people watch this, they're like, I want to be like that person. I want to go do that. This motivates me to do something. An example of this can be, I went from this to this in less than 6 months. There is obviously a lot of overlap between the types of content, so you can be educational and inspirational all in one video. And then a trend is literally just whatever's trending or going viral within your niche. So it can be a sound, a quote, a video style, anything. It's good to always have a running list of ideas to help you stay consistent. I do my list in Notion, but you can also just do it in a notes app. Just have a page where anytime an idea comes to your mind, you just write it down. Another way to do it is you can make yourself a content calendar where you can post about your pillar once a week. So again, for fashion, for example, on Mondays you post about a style inspo. On Tuesday, you post fashion trends. On Wednesday, you post thrifting. You just have to be realistic about how much content you can film and edit and create in a week. Because remember, this only works if you are committed and consistent. So the industry average is 3 to 5 Instagram posts, and I would highly recommend them being reels, and 5 to 7 TikToks a week. When you are slowly growing, you probably wouldn't go viral, but consistency is what will help you get there. Focus on the quality of your content and not the quantity. You have to ask yourself, will a brand repost this? Is this shareable? Is this savable? A good tip that I have is to research your niche, not as a consumer, but as a content creator. You have to look at what videos are working and how they are exactly doing it in a creator point of view. The best way to learn is always from somebody who's already been in your shoes. Part 3. Optimizing your bio. SEO words are more important than ever, and you want brands and agencies to find you. This is my Instagram bio. The most important thing is to put your location. And then I have my niche, which is a fashion lifestyle. And then I added creative because I love making cinematic videos. So some people put this right beside their name, but I just prefer it in my bio. And then of course, your email. Your email has to be front and center. This is how brands are going to contact you. And you want your email button to also be the same email. And check your email regularly, like every single day. And then I added a call to action because I want people to be redirected to my YouTube when they open my Instagram. Some creators like to add something short and fun about them, a little description, a quote. It's really up to you. And not to mention, your profile picture needs to be a clear photo of you. So again, you want your bio to be precise and clean because this is the first thing the people who don't know you are gonna see. Your page is ready to go, all set up, you have your ideas, your niche, your pillars, and now you're ready to create content. But you can't do that without knowing some content tools and editing apps. So I'm gonna share some that will make your life so much easier. The first thing is a tripod. This is my trusty tripod. It's from Atom Tech. You can get it from Amazon. I like it because it's so portable. I take this everywhere with me, and it has this Bluetooth clicker. If you're really in this, you're gonna do what it takes to create content, even if it means creating it by yourself. And the faster you learn to do it alone, the better. One tip I always tell people is to clean your lenses with a fiber cloth every time before you shoot. These 2 things, you don't necessarily need them right now, but it's just fun to have, is a portable light. This one has 3 settings, warm, cool, and then a mix of both. And then these are very fun, the sticky grippies. So this one, basically you stick it on the back of your phone, and then you can stick your phone anywhere. And then you take it off when you're done. This is how a lot of creators do their fit checks literally anywhere. So how exactly are you going to edit your photos and videos? First things first, if you want to create your content and you have nobody to do it with, you can use the app Lens Buddy. This is how it looks like. It lets you choose the number of photos you want to take, the interval between each photo, and how long you want to take photos. It's very easy to learn and it's so handy, especially when you want to create content but you only have your tripod. The next app that I religiously use is Lightroom. So I like to have a certain look in my feed every season. So what I do is I usually just create a preset and then save it in Lightroom. And in that way, when I have a new photo, I just add it on and then adjust accordingly. I also love Lightroom because unlike other apps, there's just way more tools that you can really get into detail. And it does not compress the quality that much when I save and upload it. Another thing you can do in Lightroom is just to copy and paste edits from one photo to another. It's also beginner friendly. You don't have to do a lot, but it will make your photos look so much better. Let's move on to video. There are two apps that are most used by creators, VN and CapCut. VN I find is way faster to use, but only if you need the basics. It doesn't have that much effects, but if you're just cutting, putting pieces together, adding audio, then it's very good. I love it because you can literally select a clip, just put how long you want it to be, like the number of seconds, and then that's it. And if you want to reframe it, you just slide it around and it works. Unlike CapCut, where you have to manually drag the corners to the exact frame that you want to use. But the good thing about CapCut is you can do effects like this. They also have way more font options, text effects, sound effects, animations that you can use for free. CapCut is also linked to TikTok, so there's a lot of templates that you can view and use, and then you can easily upload your edits to TikTok. Now we get to the fun part and what everybody's been waiting for, getting noticed by brands. So the easiest and I think most effective way to get noticed by brands is to create content and tag them in it. Sometimes the person who handles the brand's social media account is different from their influencer marketing person, but it doesn't hurt to keep tagging because you never know who's looking at your content. A lot of brands actually found me this way. I would just start posting and creating content and then tagging the brands that I was wearing or using. So if you have an item from a brand that you truly love, I would just start incorporating that into the content that you create. You can also tag brands in your stories for a more casual and natural way. Or you can blind tag them even. The important thing is that you are tagging them and you are making your page known. Next way you can get noticed by brands is to use brand specific hashtags if they do have any. So you would just go to their page and check their posts, and if there's any brand specific hashtags they use, you can just use that too because there's a higher chance that they check those ones regularly. And then, while you're on their page, follow the brand, like, share, save, engage with their posts. Sometimes I feel funny commenting on a brand's page like, wow, I'm obsessed, or I love this product so much, or whatever, but it works. Sometimes a brand would respond to me in the comments or in my DMs, and it's funny because I don't know who I'm talking to, right? But what if that person gives my name to the person in charge of brand deals or collaborations? You just never know. So it's better to start building that relationship with the brand you truly love and to start building a genuine connection. Of course, I only do this to brands that I want to work with in the future, brands that I have been using for ages, brands that I truly support and love. And then, if you feel ready, if you feel you're up to it, you can send them a DM. When I started all of this back in 2021, I made sure that I had really good content relevant to the brand before I DM them. That's because I didn't want to be like, oh, hi, I love and support your brand. I use your products every day without having posting it at least once. Believe me, a lot of creators mass DM brands. They get the same message over and over again. You want to make sure you have that connection. You want to make sure that you are genuine in what you are saying. When you are introducing yourself to a brand, you want to make a good impression the first time. Because even if they don't work with you immediately, they can offer to send you PR products, they can remember your name, they can list you down for a future brand collaboration. Also, when you DM them, they can just scroll up and see how many times you've tagged them or mentioned them in the past. And a lot of brands repost tags. So when you are DMing brands, make sure you introduce yourself, tell them why you love them and why you want to work with them, and what value you can give them. Think of it as a short and sweet elevator pitch. So they either respond to you with more detail or they give you the direct email of the contact that you need. So there you have it. Don't stop creating content and tagging brands, and eventually they will notice you. If you have any questions about anything that I have just said in this video, you can always comment down below or DM me on Instagram. Thanks for watching part 1 of this series. Be sure to like and subscribe to get alerted when I post the second one, which is monetizing your platforms and working with brands. Remember, if you commit today, your life will change within 6 months. It's Pam, and I will see you next week.